My net worth is about to change quite drastically. In less than 2 months, I'll officially become a homeowner, and that's going to completely change how my money is allocated. I thought it would be meaningful to document this transition to show you what my finances look like before the purchase and eventually what they'll look like after as a 30-year-old single navigating home ownership in Singapore. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Let's go. Before we begin, for those of you who are new here, I want to share a little bit of context about myself because none of what I'm about to share with you happened overnight. I graduated from a private university in 2019 at age 23, took a gap year for a bit because I wasn't at my best self to commit to a full-time job at that period of time. And it was only in 2020 April, just a few days before COVID-19 lockdown, where I started my first full-time corporate job with a starting salary of $2,700 a month before CPF contributions. And this was how my income progressed over the next few years before I eventually resigned in 2023. During COVID, we were all working from home, and for the first time, I felt like I had a lot of time to think. I remember imagining myself in my 40s or 50s with white hair, still clocking in a 9 to 5 every day and only really getting to live life from 5 to 9 and on the weekends. And that thought really stayed with me. Around that same time, it was also when my mum had a really bad fall at the void deck of a HDB, and that was the moment that changed everything for me. I want to build a life where I had more control over my time, where I could earn a living and still be there for the people that I love. So I set a goal for myself back then to save aggressively, build enough financial stability to leave my corporate job, and hopefully spend more time traveling with my mum, which we did. In April 2022, it was when I first started documenting my journey on YouTube. And that's when the whole Money Diary series started. Thankfully, personal finance is actually something that I genuinely enjoy. Budgeting, learning how to invest and allocate money, and seeing how money, when used intentionally, could create more choices in life. And that made it easier for me to keep showing up, publishing one video a week, even while I was still working at my full-time job. Back then, I was just someone earning $2,000 to $3,000 a month in a corporate job. My earning power looks very different today, but I hope this journey doesn't feel unattainable to you. Instead, I hope it shows you what's possible by staying consistent, keep learning, and give yourself enough time. I know buying a private condominium at 30 isn't the most financially optimal decision. A lot of you have asked me, why not wait until 35? Just 5 more years and I can apply for a HDB flat or get a resale flat. Why not rent in the meantime or continue living in Korea since the work that I do can be done from anywhere in the world? But if I'm being very honest, the reason that I leave for Korea every single year is just my way of finding space to be on my own for a bit. But I don't want to keep running away anymore. I actually want to be here around my family. My mom is 65 this year, my dad is 70. They aren't young anymore. My 2 siblings are married and I have 2 nieces that I absolutely adore. If you follow me on IG, you'll see stories about them. I want to be around to create memories with the people that mean the most to me, especially my parents, because none of us knows how much time we have left with the people that we love. So buying my own home isn't just about owning a property. It's about creating an environment that gives me space to become a better version of myself, to have more patience, to be more present, and to show up better for the people that I love. For me, buying a home now is choosing the life I want to build over making the decision that might maximize my finances. At the end of the day, what's the point of accumulating so much wealth when you are unhappy? So that was my conclusion when I decided that I want to property hunt, and I'm actually securing my place in less than 2 months. Now, with all of that out of the way, just 2 more disclaimers before we get into the numbers. First, my net worth includes my CPF. You do you and I'll do me. I know that this is always a topic of debate, but I've experienced firsthand how valuable CPF has been, not just for later in retirement, but throughout different stages of life. Including it in my net worth helps me make better financial decisions because it's money that plays an important role in my overall financial plan. Just an example, in 2024, I had to undergo spine surgery after waking up one morning with severe back pain that left me unable to walk. Thankfully, because I had CPF Medisave, I didn't have to pay anything out of pocket at all. And now, as I prepare to purchase my first home, I'm also able to use my ordinary account monies towards my down payment. So that's why, for me, CPF is very much a part of my net worth. Second, I don't include unrealized investment gains in my net worth. The numbers that I'm about to share with you are capital only. The reason is simple. I have no intention of selling my long-term investments anytime soon. So I don't count any gains that only exist on paper. Instead, I only add or deduct from my net worth when I actually sell an investment, like when I covered in Money Diaries in this video, when I sold my Google investment and realized profits so that I could use it towards my house down payment. Most of my portfolio are sitting on unrealized profits. Later in the video, I'll share both the total capital that I've invested and the current market value of my investment portfolio as of the 9th of July, so you can see the difference, but the overall number that I'll share with you doesn't include the unrealized investment gains. So now let's dive into the numbers. Let's go. I use my Notion finance tracker to track every single dollar, and this net worth page is what I use to track my net worth every single month. So starting with cash, I currently have a little over $345,000. Yes, it's a lot of money that's left uninvested. Besides my monthly recurring investments, I've stopped investing since late last year when I decided that I was going to buy a home in Singapore. Majority of this will go into my home equity account, which I'll share with you guys a little bit more later. But of course, I can't just let this sit idle in a savings account earning a mere 0.05% per annum, so I've strategically allocated it accordingly. 150k sits in UOB1 savings account earning 1.90% per annum, fulfilling conditions like salary crediting and spending $500 on an eligible credit card. Another $98,000 sits in Chocolate Finance, a cash managed account investing in short-term instruments like money market funds. I earn 2% per annum on the first 20k and 1.8% per annum on the next 80k, with returns credited daily into the account. This is an investment, and for monies I know I need in less than 3 years, meaning short-term funds, I invest it here just so I can keep up with the average rate of inflation at around 2% in Singapore. Another $50,000 is in another bank, and $47,000 sits in my business account. If you're also saving up for a short-term goal like renovation, wedding, or even a big trip, monies like this should be allocated strategically. And a great deal that's going on right now is with Longbridge Singapore offering 5% per annum interest boost on up to $4,000 kept in Longbridge Cash Plus for 365 days, and that is worth up to $200 in additional interest when you sign up for a Longbridge account exclusively with my link in the description box below, or you can scan this QR code over here and deposit $2,000. Longbridge is a low-cost broker licensed by the Monetary Authority of Singapore, offering lifetime commission-free trades in the Singapore, Hong Kong, and US stock market. You'll also receive platform fee coupons that will further reduce your investing costs, and that's why I've been using their platform to invest for my family. If you have $4,000 sitting around not working for you, this is a deal worth considering. I'll leave more details down in the description box below. Don't miss out on this opportunity, especially if you're still new to Longbridge. So that's for cash. Now on to investments. In order to fund the down payment of my house, I had to liquidate my bonds and a little bit of my Singapore stocks. As a reminder, this amount that I'm about to be sharing with you only accounts for capital invested and not any unrealized gains. So as of 9 July, $24,000 worth of bonds I still hold, which I'll eventually liquidate soon. My Singapore stock portfolio is at $168,000, US portfolio $108,000, managed portfolios $1,600, and miscellaneous cash on the platform at $30. So that's a total of $302,372.99. And I think this is where most of you are interested. So my account balances, including unrealized gains, is at $398,449.66. So that is an unrealized profit of around $96,000. So that's for investments. As for CPF, thankfully, because I'm an employee of my own company, my CPF contributions continues to grow through both the employee and employer contributions. Across my 3 CPF accounts, I now have a little over $140,000 there, and out of that, $81,400 is in my ordinary account, which will be used towards my home down payment. And because of this, I created a new category in my net worth called home equity. Once the down payment is made, that money doesn't disappear, it simply moves over from my CPF into the value of my home. Same goes for whatever amount that I'll be shifting from cash to my home equity account. So instead of treating it as an expense, I'll be tracking it under this category moving forward. Of course, things like stamp duties, legal fees, those are genuine expenses because that money is gone for good. Once my monthly mortgage repayment begins, I'll split them accordingly. Part of each payment will be paid to the bank as interest, while the rest builds my equity in the property. I know that home equity isn't liquid unless I eventually sell the property, which will take some time, but it's still an asset that forms part of my overall net worth. This is probably the biggest change my net worth will go through for a very, very long time. Genuinely, if I don't have to sell the property in 5 years' time, meaning I can still afford it, I will continue staying. At the end of the day, to me, a 2-bed, 2-bath, even though it's in a condominium, not very big as compared to a HDB. Maybe because I'm quite used to houses in Korea, I actually can see myself living there for an extended period of time because I'm all on my own anyway. But anyway, that said, any major life decisions that I make will continue to be planned based only on the money that I have under my cash and investments categories. Those are assets that are actually liquid and available for me to use. So I also have $6,534.89 in outstanding credit card balances, which have already been deducted from my net worth by this line over here. And with that, my net worth as a 30-year-old single Singaporean before purchasing my first home is at $795,796.75. I never imagined that this would be my life. Tell me this 4 years ago and I wouldn't believe you at all, because back then I was living on an extremely tight budget, trying to save money so I could one day take a chance on my passion projects. None of this happened overnight. If you've been here since the beginning, you know that. Looking back, I have so many people to thank. My dad was the first one who sparked my interest in personal finance, and from there, it was the money mindsets and habits that I've built over the years that slowly changed my life. Had it not been for those money habits, increasing my income wouldn't matter at all, because if I can't practice saving and being wise about my money, at the end of the day, whatever that I've earned will also go into expenses. And of course, none of this would have been possible without the support from you guys. Every view, every like, every comment, and every person who watched my videos or shared them with someone else, it has all played a part in making this journey possible. So thank you. Truly, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I'll be collecting the keys to my home in Q4 this year, in the month of October actually, and I hope you stick around as I document the next chapter of my life. I'm also thinking about going live more often so we can chat, answer your questions, and just hang out together. That'll be fun. Until then, as always, have a great week ahead, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye bye!